What's up everyone, Stardog here, and tonight I want to showcase some of the older cards I have in my collection. These cards were actually passed down to me through my family, and I hope to continue the tradition, keep it alive within my family as well. So let's check out what we got. Some older vintage type cards. These are 1976 tops, the infamous 76 because of that Walter Payton rookie. I have them in order by team. So we got the Bears here first, and I'll kind of flip through them sort of quick. Ken Anderson. Maybe point out a couple players. But yeah, these are these old school cards. I was hoping to give anyone out there watching who's not familiar with these an opportunity to see at least what they look like and maybe what they might be getting into as far as they have the idea of trying to accumulate some vintage cards or some old school cards. You'll see a lot of the old school tops. Mainly tops. So we flip through the teams here. We're up to the Bucks. These are legit cardboard. Straight up cardboard box cardboard. It's pretty wild. Got the Roger Worley there. Jim Bank in there too. Jim Otis. Mo Gray, not bad. Russ Washington's alright. Dan Fouts. Have quite a few duplicates, so if anyone watching is interested, just drop me a line, let me know. We'll work something out, I'm sure. So we're up to the Chiefs. I don't have, that Walter Payton's the only one I don't have. Harvey Martin. I mean, literally, I have pretty much the set, except that Walter Payton. We had it. We had to trade it, though. It was a heck of a deal. Couldn't pass up that one. So let's check out what we have here. This John Fitzgerald, and this is one of the main reasons why I wanted to kind of showcase these older cards, is because back then they weren't really heavily machine manufactured, I don't think. It looks like a pretty bad off-centered cut job. You can see the beginnings of another card there. His name's cut off at the bottom. And even if we turn it around on the back, you can see the beginning of a new card up top where it was miscut. These cards, these are not really considered errors or anything like that. They're just a quirky sort of thing that some people do like. I'm a fan of it. I think it's pretty wild. It's really on the duplicates, though. But they're not going to do anything as far as your grade. It's not a good thing. Leroy Jordan. Yeah, so we'll come across a few of these uncentered cut cards as we continue to flip through here. It's definitely not an idea, not a good idea if you're looking to get them graded to choose an off-center cut card. It's not going to help with the grade whatsoever. Some people think that it does, but it does not, unfortunately. I know some people do value that quirkiness in some cards, but generally you're not going to get anything back from it. I got Steve Bartkowski down there. It's a great quarterback for Atlanta for a while. A few more Falcons. So I'll go through these a little bit quicker. Let's see, where's that? Ah, yes, the Bob Tucker. The Bob Tucker. This thing is another good example of a card cut off center. You can really see the beginning of another card there. Cut really way too far right. His name is cut off as well. You have the beginnings of a last name in there. Looks like a T. Flip it on the back, and you can see, the new card up top. The bottom's cut off on the bottom of that Tucker. At least that's my understanding, is that these cards that are cut off center won't really increase the value per se. Adds toward the maybe individualness or the quirkiness, lack of a better word, of the card. But generally people want these things in tip-top shape, in good condition. I never get these out. This is the first time in years. Talking about condition, though, let's check out a really bad condition card. Look at this Willie Alexander. The surface is just completely terrible. A lot of the coloring is coming off. The cut itself looks to be okay. I still think it's a little close. The borders aren't that great. You can see the back there is not too bad. Maybe a stain here or there, but the front center surfacing is just terrible. No creases or dents. We'll get to one later, I'm sure. So we go through here. Got the Packers. Haven't really been looking at these names like I should have. So let's see. Anything? John Adelaide. You know. Fred Carr. Van Dyke. Sorry. Smith. Perry Smith was another. Got a few Perry Smiths, don't we? Jim Plunkett. Too bad. John Hanna. Jack Reynolds. Tom Mack. Okay. Tom Dempsey's. Rich Saul. Let's see. Harold Jackson. Youngblood's probably the big one for the Rams here. Got another Jack Youngblood. Yeah, got quite a few. Couple Archies. Get to the Steelers. Should have. No. Ernie Holmes. Maybe we'll run into Franco Harris. Okay, we do have the All-Pro Harris. And we get to the Vikings. Check out this cool Carl Eller. This old school Carl Eller. We pulled his autograph, his banner season autograph in our Prestige. 2016 Prestige box bust. Check that out if you haven't. That's a pretty sweet video. Pretty sweet bust. A couple Jim Marshalls here. Ed Mariano. Nate Wright. And then we get to, I guess, what people would consider inserts. The different leaders, league leaders, record breakers. The George Belanda kick-in. Team championships. You got the 75 championship. Tarkington up there. Terry Metcalf. So here's a couple cards that I had pulled out, though, to set aside to kind of compare. So we have a Zonka there. That looks to be off-cut from the bottom and the top. Not left to right like we've been seeing. Here's a regular Zonka to kind of compare it to. If I can flip it. I haven't. Let's check this out. This will be pretty wild to check out. Because now we'll get an idea how much space, okay, from the left to right. I would say a lot of these cards are cut technically off-center. It was old school ways that they did it. I really don't know, to be honest, how they manufactured it back then, but I want to kind of guess and say that it was sort of like they do today in sheets, obviously, maybe in a different press, maybe a different cutting tool. So here's another couple cards that I want you guys to kind of check the condition out of. Now, this Lynn Dawson does have a small crease. It is visible. A little corner bent at the top, just a smudge. The Paul Warfield doesn't look too bad. There might be a sludge dent in the corners, but nothing too dramatic. This one, we're going to talk about corners. Talking about this card. Check out the top left. You can see the creases fairly easily. You can even see them through the back in the top there. Pretty damaged. These are all dupes as well. But just to give, you know, like I said, people out there that don't know about them or haven't seen it or just not familiar with, that is the 76 tops. I keep that separate because we just have about the whole set aside from that Walter Payton, man. Dang. So let's get into another top set. I think these are the 79s. Yeah, 79 tops. Tom Jackson there. See anybody really? Dan Deerdorf, top left. Fred Dean. Tom Banks, all right. Preston Pearson. Charlie Warnes. Thomas. Herman Edwards. Haha, check out that Herman Edwards. Pretty wild, pretty wild. Harry Carson, love to have that guy's rookie. I don't have it, unfortunately. There was a time where I really wanted to get into these old vintage cards, but I, didn't really know where to start. I'm thinking 50s and 60s off the bat, right? 50s, I got to get the old cards. And it didn't really matter who the player was. I just wanted an old card. Well, I mean, a good condition old card's pretty valuable in a sense, especially if you're a kid trying to get into it. So to give the kids out there that don't really have an idea of what they might be getting into if they're desiring those vintage cards, maybe they'll walk away after watching this video with some sort of idea and information that they've learned. Check out this, another Carl Eller there. Carl Eller was a beast on that purple people eater Viking defense. Then we get the team leaders. They always go, you know, the previous season, so 78 team leaders for the 79 set. And then we get to the championship type games. And the NFL leaders there. Alright, so now we're going to get into the 80. Yep, 1980 tops. Nothing too crazy. I don't think I have a lot of the big names in here. Billy Joe Dupree. Not too bad. I think we're about to get into an older set as we continue along here. Jack Ham. Wow. Ricky Young. Ricky Young was alright too. The Vikings. Another Craig Coleman. Craig Coleman. Duplicate Ricky Young. Here's the 74. 74 tops. Leroy Kelly. Terry Metcalf. Curry. What are these, 77? Yeah, 77 tops. Don't have a lot. Definitely a set I'll be working on. I think these are the 82s. Yeah, the 82 tops. This is the oldest card I have, this Alex Karras. I think it's a 71. Not in the best condition at all. I'd be lucky to get a 3 or a 4 grade on it. But it is the oldest card I have, so when I found that out, I wanted to keep it sorted by itself. Pretty cool, in my opinion anyway. Then we get to the 75 tops here. Jim Marshalls, Harrison Davis, Ron Hornsby. Might have an Art Shell in here somewhere. John Hanna, Jim Plunkett, Tom Dempsey. There's the Jack Ham we were looking for. There's another Carl Eller from 74. All-Pro season. They take it from the year before, so this is 75 Carl Eller. And then we get to what I guess once we consider the inserts, I suppose. Though they're not listed as such, the Super Actions, got the Archie Mannings, the James Loftons. Shoot. Curtis Dickey wasn't bad either. Bruce Harper, Ahmad Rashad, Steve Largent, another Steve Bartowski. Pretty wild. And then the rest here are just kind of team cards, team highlight shots. And then we get into the checklists after that. Pretty sure that's about all she wrote for these 70s. So then we take it from the 70s where everything's straight up cardboard, very, very fragile to handle. And we'll get to the 95 Topps Stadium Club. So let's see where Topps have come from since 75 to 95. Let's pull out some Stadium Clubs here. Just a random thing of Stadium Clubs. Go through a few. Darren Smith, John Jurkovic, Stephen Moore. Let's see, Pryor. Anybody stick out? Let's see. Eric Kramer, Greg Hill, Craig Hayward, Montgomery, Charlie Garner was alright for a while. He's a Raider too. Here's a rookie card. Topps Stadium Club. Zach Wugert. There's a Reggie Clark. Inaugural season for Jacksonville Jaguars. That was their inaugural season. The year before, in 94. Larry Brown, he was alright for Dallas for a while. Byron Morris, Ray Buchanan, Jim Jeffcoat, Brent Jones. Let's get to another set. Let's go a year later. Let's fast forward another year. Check out 96. The 40th anniversary of Topps. Pretty wild. I remember getting the 50th in 2006. Let's just go random. I'm just going to pick randomly. Maybe we'll go from the back. So we got the couple Vikings. Derek Alexander was alright. Yeah. Got the bust. Jerome Bettis. Tyron Wheatley. He was alright too. Terrence Mathis, 1,000-yard club. Jake Reed. It's a wild Jake Reed. He was good. Curtis Conway was good. Rob Moore. Yep. Thurman Thomas. Kid Norton. Robert Brooks. Kerry Collins. Was that second-year card? Yep. He was a rookie in 95. Ray Buchanan. Brian Blades was all right. Darnay Scott was good too. Yeah, a lot of these cats. Terry Kirby, Larry Centers. Sapp. What? Yep. Oh, Sapp. Wayne Corbett. Without Wayne Corbett. Dale Carter. And... well, that's the time. That tells me, guys. That's the bell. Man. We hit our limit, didn't we? Just a short video for you guys out there that might be unfamiliar with these old school cards. Something to give you guys an idea what you might be looking to get into if you are interested in the vintage set or the vintage hobby, the vintage cards. I definitely am a big fan, and anyone out there watching with any vintage cards, if you see anything, let me know. Maybe we could work something out. But Stardog out, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Check out sportscardisle.com in the description box below. Click on their link. Follow them on Twitter at SportsCardIsle. Follow me on Twitter at Bustin, and we'll see what's going on. But Stardog out. Sounds like someone's at the door, guys. I gotta go take it. But you guys have a good evening. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll catch you this weekend. Thank you so much for watching.